it is a place where it is supposed to be like a richest country on planet Earth. But so many people don't know it because this country has been suppressed by war and atrocities. It has been 30 years that this country has been completely buried with wrong propaganda, with like people not knowing what happens down there in the Congo. Until when people really started making a lot of noise. All right, folks. Hey, this is the Green Lights Nation podcast. Today we are here with Brother Anthony. Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yep.
Yeah.
Cheers to everything we're going to talk about today.
Yeah. Cheers to everything. And then just for the record, we're having a spicy rum with Coca-Cola.
Yes. What is that name again? Oh, we don't market it here?
No, we don't market the brand. It's just the type of drinks that we're having.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good enough. They haven't paid us, so we cannot make publicity.
They should pay.
Yep.
All right, guys. So today we're talking about some developments that has happened, and we just wanted to say a word regarding everything that is developing, the story that is developing. We are talking about the Democratic Republic of the Congo.
Okay.
And the deal that is being signed with the United States and also with the neighboring country, Rwanda, coming on board. Yeah, but for us, we just want to talk about the Congo.
The Congo.
Because we don't know how the other party, let's say Rwanda, is benefiting from this. But for us, we want to talk about what we are benefiting from this deal. So
I think for the context, it might be helpful to just, level set and then explain to people who are not aware of, what's the deal? What is the deal that is happening?
So the deal that is happening, actually. So, this country, as we talked for so many years, let's say for so many times, this country is where I come from, is where Brother Anthony comes from. It is a place where it is supposed to be like a richest country on planet Earth. But so many people don't know it because this country has been suppressed by war and atrocities. It has been 30 years that this country has been completely buried with wrong propaganda, with like people not knowing what happens down there in the Congo. Until when people really started making a lot of noise.
And then also to provide more context, the struggle in the Democratic Republic of Congo, especially the east part, started almost 30 years ago.
Yep.
And then today we're talking about the number of people who have died from that crisis, more than 6 million.
That's a lot of people.
Which is approximately, it could be, double the number of people who died during, I think, World War I or World War II. That's what people say. So the amount of people who passed away or died from that crisis could be greater than the people who died from World War II. So I think to give you an idea of the gravity of the situation.
Yeah. And damn. And you know what? So many people don't know about this.
Yep.
So many people. Because I was so shocked to see that all this process that is happening, the media is not sharing this development. The international media, let's say, some few are talking about it, but most of the media is not talking about it. Or maybe when they talk about it, they just brush it. They don't go deep into the details. The reason why now we're doing a podcast to talk about it is because the media is hiding it. They don't want people to know about this.
Okay.
Well, the United States is signing a very great deal right now. And the people of Congo are benefiting from this deal. Just like the way the people of the United States and elsewhere in the world are going to benefit from this deal. First of all, the Congo has a vast deposit of natural mineral resources. And so they are giving up these natural mineral resources because they have not been of great value from the time this country started suffering. And so the president, I think, had very good advisors to tell him, you know what, maybe you should move in this direction. Because, first of all, all these wars that the Congo has suffered is because of those minerals.
Okay, pretty much. Yeah, because a lot of hidden forces were fighting in the background, trying to exploit like those mineral resources illegally, and then at any cost. And then I think the greatest cost that the country has paid for it was the cost of losing life, as I think consequences, implication of like the intentional exploitation, illegal exploitation of those mineral resources. But I think just based on what is going on right now, I think the opinion in the Congolese community is a bit divided in terms of like, is this good for our country or is it bad? Because I've heard some opinion saying that, maybe President Tshisekedi is selling out the country to America.
How?
So, I mean, that's what...
we had American and other European big companies, like they call them multinationals.
Yeah.
They were looting these minerals in the pretext of saying that they're just dealing. And they used our neighboring countries to do these kind of mafias. But now, what Tshisekedi actually did, these guys were passing through the window. He opened the door. He said, you do it nicely.
But it's still an exploitation, right?
We can call it an exploitation, but if they give the people, the local people, peace, because that deal is, we give you the minerals, you give us security. And believe me, that is a very good deal.
Okay. Yeah, I think
if you think about it, but people are not understanding what this deal is all about. They think that the president is selling the country. The country has already been sold.
Yeah,
it was already sold by maybe previous guys who were running it. So what Tshisekedi is only doing is what? Is cleaning up the mess. But people should understand what is happening.
Yep.
And it's not because Trump is the one doing the deal. Because also Americans are also being confused about this deal. Especially people who don't like Trump. They are confused about this deal. But Trump, as everybody knows Trump is a business guy.
Yep.
Before he's the president, he's a business guy. So he saw a good potential for great technology. What material that can come from the Congo
to produce like all these electronic devices, like cars. Yeah.
The batteries, everything, the devices, everything that you can think about, those materials can produce that. So when he sees that, we are heading to a very big breakout of artificial intelligence. You heard the investments that are being put in.
Yep. I think for me, if I want to, you have to analyze this situation I can analyze this situation in two lenses. The first lens is like analyze the facts, what is happening, and I can also give an opinion of what is happening. So right now, the fact is that, Congo has suffered for 30 years of this war, and then multinational who were, I think, sponsored by superpower were using neighboring country like Rwanda to maintain instability in the eastern part of the region of the country, so that they can exploit those minerals illegally. And then the cost of it was maintaining instability by war, maintaining war, political unrest. But the consequences was that the country paid in terms of lives, and also paid in terms of potential for development, economic opportunities.
It let the country down.
It let the country down.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah, the unrest lasted 30 years. And big countries, superpower, including America, I think ignored this issue. And then sometimes we were under the impression that they are actually supporting countries
What
like
is
Rwanda
happening, yes.
to, entertain and maintain that type of instability. And we've seen so many administration in America who have ignored that problem, including President Trump in his first term.
In the first term, yeah.
Africa
Yeah.
was not a priority for him.
Yes.
But I think what is happening right now is that the president of Congo understood that maybe Trump understands one language, like the money language.
Business language.
Business language.
Yes.
So he put a deal on the table that was financially and economically attractive to the administration.
In such a way that they cannot deny that deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because of it, it's bringing the level of attention that the country has been starving for more than 3 decades. Yes, maybe the deal in a perfect situation might not have been the best deal for a country who wants to be independent, who wants to make decisions on how they can benefit from their own resources. But at the same time, if we blame the president of Congo for selling the country, I don't think it's much different from what has happened in the past, because the country, as you said, was already sold.
Let me tell you what I know for sure. If you are a president of a country, like you are entrusted that vision to lead the population, and you have to really move them in a certain direction where you see that this is going to help my people, And every president in the whole world, that's what they do. First of all, protection. You have to protect your people. You have to ensure they have security and safety. What the president of Congo is doing right now, I think he is trying to ensure people have security and safety. Because let's say imagine, in that troublesome region, Goma, Bukavu, Butembo, that area, the whole east. If we put an American base in Goma.
American base in Goma, Bukavu, Kisangani.
Imagine what would happen. It stabilizes the whole country.
The same
Actually, the whole region.
Yep, same thing that happens in the world. Like if you look at on all the places where America has bases, country who wants to attack those countries, they have to think twice.
They have to think thrice.
South Korea, we can name it. South Korea, Japan.
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Qatar.
Yeah, Qatar.
Emirates.
Yeah,
the United Emirates.
If you want to attack this country,
you have to think twice, because these submarines are not sleeping.
Yeah.
The fleet, the ships in the ocean, they're not sleeping. Kinshasa, remember, Kinshasa has that connection to the ocean.
But
imagine if we had a fleet, I'm so sorry to cut you short. Imagine if we had a fleet that was parked right there in that corner of Africa.
But here's the thing, is installation of American base is part of the deal that was signed yesterday? Or are we just speculating?
We can speculate, but it's a possibility. Because it's a peace deal. Peace, I give you peace, we give you minerals. So when you talk about peace, what are you going to do? Are you going to be fighting? No. Are you going to be showing strength? Yes.
And then for me, as much as it's a sign of hope, I'm still cautiously optimistic, because we never know. Things might not go the way we want. We hope. But at least in a business world, I think what is more rational is that if you try to solve a problem using the same means over and over for 30 years and it has not worked, then you have to try something new. And then for now, no matter what the result will be, because maybe 5 years from now, people who are blaming this deal could come back and say, we told you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to give everybody, all the parties, credit for trying something different.
Yeah.
Because whatever we were doing in the past was not working.
You know what? The other thing I would say about our neighboring country, Rwanda, that is signing this deal.
Yeah.
I don't know how they came into the deal. I don't know how they're going to fit in the deal. Well, maybe they might benefit also in this deal. But in another way, they're shooting themselves in the foot. Because they have been denying that they were not involved in this war for 30 years. How come they're signing the deal? It does not even make sense.
Yeah, exactly. That's a very good point you're trying to make.
Because
there's
the president of
step.
Rwanda really spoke about this for 30 years and said, we don't know what is happening in the Congo. That
We're
is
not
Congo's
responsible.
problem.
So he skipped this. I think he skipped the step of admitting
Yeah.
that they were actively fighting in the country to signing a peace. Yeah, I think we missed an episode there.
they really shot themselves in the foot.
But
And
you're saying-
well, you know, I think because of Trump, he didn't want to play around. He just wanted to cut the bullshit.
But you said they're shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
I think to me, I see it as like, do they even have a choice? The country who was sponsoring them, I think among the country that was sponsoring them was the United States. So if your master is
Your
telling
master
you
telling
that
you it's time
to come
reshape.
here, do you have a choice? No, it's not like they shoot themselves in the foot. They did not have a,
but they did them wrong though.
whatever wrong or right.
and,
It's just like
let me
it
tell
was
you-
not up to them. It's not like they had a choice.
Our brothers in Rwanda right now, they're asking themselves, so what is our position in this deal? If you want to think about it, because, you know, Africans, we have to be very clever when we're signing these kind of deals, you know? And we have ended up being tricked, all of us. It's not because the Congo was showing the sign of weakness and Rwanda was showing a sign of like strength there, just go, because they were being pushed. At the end of the day, we end up, us Africans, not supporting each other. You know what I mean?
And I'm going to tell you something. The
Yeah.
people of Rwanda are great people. They're our brothers.
Yeah.
And I've always told people that Congo and Rwanda,
They are neighbors forever.
we are neighbors forever. We don't have a choice.
Yep.
We have to get along. Because we will not be able to move Rwanda elsewhere. And
Nope.
Rwanda, you will not be able to move Congo elsewhere. There's no choice. The two populations have to get along. I know the political leadership, especially on the
It's
Rwanda
crazy.
side,
Yeah.
did not serve, did not help establish that fraternity across country with all these inside deals that were being made. But
Yeah.
we're hopeful that, you know, once this situation, this problem is solved, I think the two populations are
They're going to
mature
blend.
enough.
They're going to
good
blend
people.
and they're going to
blend.
forgive each other. Yes, as that minister said, there are so many, like, how do you call them? Scars. Like people who suffered seriously during this time. Like the whole 30 years, there are so many scars that cannot be erased. Wounds will heal, but scars will stay.
Yep.
You
And
know?
then I believe that the two
Yeah.
populations can
So
get
the
along.
two population, we marry each other, bro. We marry from everywhere.
I have friends from Rwanda.
Yeah.
I've been to Kigali twice.
Yeah.
Great people.
Yes.
The way I was treated there, I mean, they're respectful.
Yeah.
They're caring people, and then I have a strong belief that, you know, wound will be healed, but scar,
The scars will stay.
will stay. But
But
yeah,
you know,
it'll-
it's only like forgiveness that will really help us to move forward. Because what we all want is peace. Even the people in Rwanda, most of them don't even support what Kagame does. They don't. But because they are suppressed, they don't have a choice. They just have to accept his propaganda, you know?
I mean, there's little free speech in the country right now that
They lock up people, they kill people,
Yeah.
they make you disappear even.
if you disagree with the establishments of the
crazy.
current administration.
Yeah. But anyway, you know, all these are African dirty games when it comes to politics. But we hope this deal is going to solve a lot of problems. It's going to bring a lot of jobs. It's going to bring a lot of investment, especially for people like us who live outside the countries. We live in America, we live in Europe. We can always go back home and be proud of where we are from, you know?
With everything going on, like this is just the beginning of this agreement. Like I said, I'm cautiously optimistic about the whatever is taking place right now. But I will give the president of Congo, the president of the Trump administration, even like the leadership in Rwanda, even though they don't really have a choice, but they have to do what the master says. But I just give everybody credit for at least trying to do something different, because whatever we try to do, like those side deal, peace deal, trying to negotiate with like puppets,
did not work.
That didn't work. Trying to negotiate with M23, who are actually puppets when the real master of the M23 were like in fact Rwanda and the superpower, and then trying to even like respond by force, because you've had like some time during like the administration of a presidency in Congo where we had like Laurent Desire Kabila, even Tshisekedi, who was actually trying to see if he can respond by force, respond by responding by war and violence. All these different things have not worked, and then we'll give him credit for at least trying something different, something new, which might not work.
He tried some good diplomacy.
Yeah, which might not work or which may work, but if it works, he'll probably get a lot of credit. But at least for me, I don't want people to hold me to my word, because 5 years from now we could be back in the same situation. But at least even then, I'll still give him credit for trying something new and trying something different.
I love that idea. Yeah, let's give it a time until they conclude the signing, because they say the signing, like the conclusion is going to be
implementation.
Yeah. No, the presidents are going to come to Washington, D.C.
next month,
and sign. So let's wait until they do that part, and then we shall come back and say, you know what? Let's raise our flags so high and proclaim the end of the war. This atrocity has to end.
Yeah, but I think the signature might not be the evidence of the change, because the signature, people can walk back their signature.
Yeah,
I think we want to see the implementation
if we are
of the
really
agreement.
serious, as I saw Trump really saying, you got to respect what you're signing.
Oh, yeah. Whoever we will not respect will probably hear that from a tweet.
Yes.
Trump will deal with them by just tweeting. So we know how he operates.
Actually, we want to be watching this moment and continue following this story out as it develops. But for real, guys, please stick around. We're going to have a lot of discussion about this topic, because this has been a 30-year war. It has lasted more than World War II. Yeah.
Longer.
It has to end.
World War II was 5 years, and then I think the people who died, I mean, don't hold me, don't judge me, but I might be getting the numbers wrong, but we talk about like 3 to 4 million of people who died during World War III.
The one of Congo is reaching close to 10.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
30 years, yes.
So whether we sell the country or not, the deal has to be made. And I give credit to President Tshisekedi for pulling that move. So people should really give him a chance, and we see how we can finish this task.
Yeah, I mean, he understood what language he could use to engage with the President Trump, because President Trump was president for the first term. I mean, I barely heard him talking about Africa during this first term. But I think the level of publicity that this problem has benefited with him, tweeting about it, talking about it, is most likely, let's be honest, motivated by money and economic opportunity that he sees through the agreement.
Yeah, but you know what? This is what we are seeing. Opportunities. Other people are seeing like political. For us here, we are looking at the lens of opportunities.
Yeah, peace brings opportunity, because when you have peace in a country, things will work themselves out, organically.
Yep. Yes.
Development, like opportunity will be created, but as long as you don't have peace, it's very hard to do.
Creating infrastructure, like imagine the Congo is impenetrable, so they have to start even doing roads. So all that can be done by what is being signed today.
peace peace is the beginning of everything.
All right, folks. Thank you so much for joining us. Today we had a very beautiful moment to talk about something that is really boiling right now. And if you have not heard about it, please search, Google it, or whatever, and then come back to Green Lights Nation and subscribe, like, and share. All right? We catch up soon, guys. Peace and love.
Peace.